blood worshippers.
No, I
That's awesome.
I found it somewhere else, but
I call them blood worshippers.
you call them blood worshippers?
Yeah, I call them blood
Hey,
worshippers.
Look at this picture. Look at this picture.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I don't know what you guys have on store for your thread and your chat, but just for viewers, can we talk about Romans 3:25? Because that's what
Sure.
the heart of everything that I had the falling out with them on.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Sure.
So I don't know how you want to approach it there.
You go ahead. Let us know.
So if you look at they love to just quote partial 325 right off the bat. They only quote that faith in the blood, right? But if you look at verse 24, it ends in a colon, and verse 23 ends in a colon. Verse 20. So actually, the context starts in verse 21. And I called them out for taking it out of context.
This is one of the longest sentences in the Bible, or something, isn't it? But anyways,
exactly, it is. It's a good one. And so they take the whole thing out of context, and they never finish reading 325, because if you look at faith in the blood, comma, what does it say right after the rest of that verse?
To declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are passed through the forbearance of God, semicolon.
Okay. So just looking at 325 just first. So faith in the blood, comma, to declare his righteousness for the sins that are past. So that right there, now I'm not saying that it's not for sins future as well, but I'm saying the context of that scripture, it says past. So what is that referring to?
At the cross, Hebrews 9:15, the redemption of the transgressions at the cross.
So what is he referring to? The forbearance from God, right? So what I believe that's teaching on, and you look at verse 21, it's referencing the Old Testament. That's the sins that are past, the Old Testament law, the sins that are past. What God did was God accepted the blood sacrifice that was blood and bulls and goats never took away sin, but God accepted it by faith as pointing to the ultimate sacrifice the Son of God is going to do, 600 years later, whenever that was written. So I believe that's what that's talking about when it says the sins of the past. It's in context to that, the law and the Old Testament there, and that's what the forbearance of God.
The covered sins. Correct.
So what he's saying is that God, exactly, covered sin. So basically, God gave enough grace in the Old Testament so people could go down to Abraham's bosom, but then he had to pay for the sins after at the cross. That's
Correct.
What you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right, man. Even Ruckman writes it in his notes. Yeah,
exactly. And so Bible. And the main thing is they use this for the gospel. So this isn't gospel. This is doctrine to a believer. I mean, this is pretty deep doctrine here. If you go preaching on the streets, and I've done street ministry for years and apologetics and outreach, the death, burial, and resurrection, the resurrection is the hope. Right. And that's what our hope is. If you just go out and start preaching